Here we are going to discuss about the second part of the story A Hero by R.K. Narayan. In the first part of the story, we have come to know that Swami, a boy, disputed with his father about a report that was published in a newspaper. The report was about the bravery of a village boy who fought with a tiger and he climbed a tree after some person came there and rescued the boy after killing the tiger. Swami was not ready to accept the report. According to him, the boy was not a small one, but probably he was a grown up. But his father said that courage is everything, age and strength did not matter. Swami was not ready to accept the explanation of his father. He pointed out that if a tiger would come in front of him, then what would he do? His father immediately gave him a challenge. The challenge was, in order to prove his courage, he had to sleep in the office room alone. Now Swami was at a stake because he was afraid of sleeping alone. He used to sleep with his grandmother every day. So he started giving various excuses in order to avoid the challenge of his father. But his father was a very strict person, adamant person, so he was not at all ready to listen anything. Rather, he ordered him to follow his instruction. So Swami had no other option but to follow the order of his father. Now come to this part. Here what happened? Swami's father sat gloomily gazing at the newspaper on his lap. Probably here Swami's father was thinking about the fate of the village boy. If the person would not come there, or probably he was thinking about his own child the way he was growing up. Swami rose silently and tiptoed away to his bed in the passage. So, when his father was sitting sorrowfully, Swami used the situation and very quietly he moved away from his father and then reached to the place where he used to sleep with his grandmother. Because in every way or in every means he was trying his best to avoid the order or challenge of his father. Granny was sitting up in her bed and remarked, "Boy, are you already feeling sleepy? Don't you want a story?" Granny did not have any idea about what had happened. That why did Swami come so early to sleep? So, as for the practice of every day, Granny used to tell story to Swami before going to bed. So that day also she asked Swami whether he wanted to hear a story or not. Swami made wild gesticulation to silence Granny, but that good lady saw nothing. But Swami was trying his best to make his grandmother to stop or not to say anything through his gesture, but his grandmother did not notice anything of his. So Swami threw himself on his bed and pulled the blanket over his face. So in order to avoid his father, immediately he lay on the bed and pulled the blanket to pretend that he was sleeping. Granny said, "Don't cover your face. Are you really very sleepy?" Swami leaned over and whispered, "Please, please, shut up, Granny." Granny could not understand why Swami was behaving in this way. So she was trying to inquire about the behavior of Swami. But Swami was trying to tell her not to do. He said, "Don't talk to me and don't let anyone call me even if the house is on fire. If I don't sleep at once, I shall perhaps die." Even he told his grandmother that you should stop talking with me at that moment, and if any call would come, and even if the house was on fire also, then also you did not get me up. And what he said, if I would not sleep immediately, probably I would die. Because Swami was afraid that he would not be able to sleep alone. He did not have the courage to sleep alone in the office room. He turned over, curled and snored. Snored means the sound of the notes. Means he was showing to his father that he was sleeping. You can say he was pretending to show his father that he was sleeping with the hope that his father would not say anything. He was in this condition until or unless his blanket with which he covered himself pulled away by his father. Presently, father came and stood over him. "Swami, get up," he said. But what Swami had expected, that if he would pretend that he was sleeping, his father might not do anything. But unlike his expectation, his father came to the room and he commanded Swami to get up from the bed and to follow the instruction that he had given. He looked like an apparition in the semi-darkness of the passage, which was lit by a cone of light from the hall. So his father was looking like a ghostly figure in the semi-darkness. Semi-darkness because the room was not fully lighted. A reflection of light was entering into the room from the hall. So in the darkness, his father seemed to him like an apparition or a ghost. Swami stared and groaned as if in sleep. So every possible manner Swami tried to make his father understand that he was sleeping. So he was making sound of disapproval as if he was sleeping, don't disturb him, don't want to get up from the bed. Father said, "Get up, Swami." But father's command came and he said, "Swami, immediately got up from your bed." Granny pleaded. And as the grandmother was very affectionate to Swami, so she made a request to Swami's father. "Why do you disturb me?" As Granny did not have any knowledge about the challenge, so she could not understand anything. Grandmother did not know anything about it. So she asked father, or she requested, you can say, that why you disturbing the boy. "Get up, Swami," he said for the third time, and Swami got up. But father was not ready to listen to anyone. Rather, he was very stick to his decision. He 3 times he called Swami to get up. Then father rolled off his bed, took it under his arm and said, "Come with me." And immediately father took the beddings of Swami and asked him to follow him to the office room. Swami looked at his granny, hesitated for a moment and followed his father into the room. Then Swami looked at his grandmother with the hope that his grandmother would do something in order to take him to the office room or to stop his father to take him to the office room. With this hope, he looked at Granny, but nothing happened. His father was not ready to listen anyone. On the way, he threw a look of appeal at his mother and she said. So while going, he came across with his mother also, and again he gave a look of appeal or a request to his mother to stop his father from taking him to the office room because he did not want to go there. And mother said, "Why do you take him to the office room? He can sleep in the hall, I think." And mother said, "Don't take him to the office room. Rather," she said, "Swami could sleep in the hall. He had the courage to sleep in the hall." Swami's father was not ready to accept the proposal of the mother that Swami should sleep in the hall in order to prove his courage. Father was very adamant one. He did not want to move from his decision. So he said that he did not think that Swami could sleep in the office in the hall also. So Swami was working behind his father stealthily, very quietly, like a thief with head down. "Let me sleep in the hall, father," Swami pleaded. "Your office room is very dusty and there may be scorpions behind your law books." So next, Swami again used another excuse, and this time he said that he did not want to sleep in the office room because the room was very dusty one and scorpions might be there behind the law books. Means Swami did not have any idea whether scorpions were there or not because he did not have gone there earlier. So he was saying that maybe, but father said, "There are no scorpions, little fellow, sleep on the bench if you like. Can I have a lamp burning in the room?" Then father said no scorpion was there in the room. If you were afraid of, you could do one thing. The bench was also there. You could sleep on the bench. Then Swami make another question that he wanted to lit a lamp in the room. He wanted that the room should be lighted with a lamp. But father replied, "No, you must learn not to be afraid of darkness. It is only a question of habit. You must cultivate your good habits." So father immediately denied his proposal or request, you can say, by saying that no lamp would be there in the room. Rather, the father emphasized on the idea that Swami must learn how to live or how to sleep in the darkness, that he should not be afraid of darkness. And he also pointed out that if your habit would be so. One day you would be habituated to sleep in darkness. Then will you at least leave the door open? Then another proposal from Swami. Swami said that, okay, no problem, but you must do one thing. Please keep the door open. Alright, but promise you will not roll up your bed and go to Granny's side at night. If you do it, mind you, I will make you the laughing stock of your school. So father agreed to the proposal of Swami that the door would be opened. No light would be there, but the door would be opened. He also gave him another warning that if he would go to the room of Granny with his beddings, then next day he would tell everything to his classmate and they would make fun of him, that he was not courageous one, he was very afraid, and he would describe all the things to the classmates so that they would laugh at Swami. Now the reaction of Swami. Swami felt cut off from humanity. He was pained and angry. So, as if Swami felt that no humanity was there, he was pained and angry. As if Swami was very angry on his father because his father was not trying to understand his situation. He did not like the strain of cruelty he saw in his father's nature. So, he did not also want to face the cruelty of his father's nature. He hated the newspaper for printing the tiger story. He wished that the tiger had not spared the boy who did not appear to be a boy after all but a monster. Even he was blaming the newspaper time and again because of printing the tiger story. He was hoping that if the tiger would not leave the boy, if the tiger would not spare the boy, rather if the tiger would kill the boy, then there was nothing to report, and if the report would not be published, he did not have to sleep alone in the office room. And even he thought that the person was the boy who faced the tiger was not at all a mere child, but he was a monster, he was a giant. So Swami was all alone in the office room. As the night advanced and the silence in the house deepened, his heart beat faster. Swami was very nervous, very much afraid, because earlier he never slept alone without his mother or grandmother. So as he was sleeping alone, his heartbeat became faster because he was very much afraid. He remembered all the stories of devils and ghosts he had heard in his life. So you would also find out if you are alone in the room at that time, all the horrible stories will come to your mind, and the same thing was happening with Swami also. Means whatever stories he had heard about ghost, about devils, means fearful one, horrible one, everything was coming to his mind. How often had his chum means friend or pal, Mani seen the devil in the banyan tree at his street end? So he also remembered about the experience of his friend Mani, who had seen the devil or the evil spirit in the banyan tree at the end of the street. He also remembered about what about poor Muniswami's father, who spat out blood because the devil near the river's edge slapped his cheek when he was returning home late one night. He also remembered another incident that his friend's father, that is Muniswami's father, who was spitting blood because the devil slapped him when he was returning home late one night, and so on and on. His thoughts continued, and these type of horrible things were coming to the mind of Swami. He remembering all types of horrible stories or the incident or the experiences of other person he heard about, and all things were coming to his mind. He was faint with fear, and as all the things were coming to his mind, he became weak in fear. A ray of light from the street lamp strayed in and cast shadows in the wall. Even to add fear to his mind, even a ray of light, street light or street lamp entering into the room, and that was also creating a kind of shadow on the wall. Through the stillness, all kinds of noises reached his ears: the ticking of the clock, rustle of trees, snoring sounds, and some vague night insects humming. So as it was night, so means complete stillness was there. So Swami could hear the tickling of the clock, even the soft cracking sound coming from the trees, snoring sound, that is persons were sleeping, as a result the sound that was produced from their nose, that sound was also audible, and even the sounds of some nightly insects also coming to his ear. He could hear all those, and all these things make him afraid very much. He covered himself so completely that he could hardly breathe, and as he was hearing all the sounds, he was very afraid, and as a result he completely covered him, and he covered him in such a way as if he was facing the problem of breathing also. Every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was the instances of his old friend in the 4th class who suddenly disappeared and was said to have been carried up by a ghost to Siam or Nepal. So he even also remembering about another thing. He expected that the devil would come, the evil spirit would come to him and would take him away from the place, because earlier also he had heard the instances or the examples of his old friend in the 4th class. What happened with the boy? That his friend of the 4th class was vanished once, and it was said that the boy was taken to Siam or Nepal by a ghost. Then what happened? Swami hurriedly got up and spread his bed under the bench and crouched there. It seemed to be a much safer place, more compact and reassuring. So what he did? Immediately Swami got up, as he was sleeping on the bench. So he thought that it would be better to sleep under the bench because devil might not be able to notice him. So as per his thought, he did so, and then he crouched himself there. Means he bent his body and head, and he found that this place would be much safer than the bench. That is, it was safe place under the bench than on the bench. So here what we have come to know, that Swami was trapped in his own trap. He was trying his best to avoid the challenge given by his father, but his father was not ready to listen. So unwillingly Swami has to follow his father. Swami tries to provoke his grandmother and mother to stop father to take him to the office room, but father is not ready to listen to anyone. As a result, Swami has to go to the office room and to sleep alone there only by opening the door. As he was sleeping there, many horrible or fearful stories were coming to his mind. He thought about how Mani shared his experience about the devil, that Mani had seen the devil in the banyan tree, as well as Munisami's father's experience also, that the person was spitting blood as he had been slapped by a devil. And even the light of the street lamp also creating a shadow on the wall, the ticking of the clock, the sound of the trees, the snoring sound, even the humming sound of the insects, all made him afraid. He also remembered that the devil would come to take him away, the way his friend of the fourth class was taken by devil to Siam or Nepal. So his Swami was extremely afraid, and he decided to sleep under the table. So he went there and slept and tried to keep himself safe under the table. Okay.